this one on? This mic
Press
on?
start.
Back at it. Back at it. Back at it.
Uh-oh.
There we go again.
Press cancel.
Right here.
Right, family. That's good. No, don't press finish.
Oh, it's live.
Yeah.
Yep. We gotta turn it up.
Oh, we gotta turn it down. Hold on, y'all. All right, hold on. So, let's get it right.
How we doing out there? Facebook, YouTube.
Let's get back to the studio. What's all this nonsense on here? Let me get it right. Facebook, YouTube. All right, family. Peace and blessings. Y'all probably say, y'all crazy. We don't never get the technicals right, y'all, right? The last minute we be trying to get the technicals right, and you know what? We finally get it. Let me move this out the way of the camera, okay? Now, Suleiman, Hathor, my sister, my brother, peace and blessings. Know all is well. Okay, let's get it right on YouTube. Hold on, y'all. YouTube studio mode. Okay, here we go. All right, family. Welcome to Spiritually Seeing News, where we see what you can only imagine. I'm Wunam.
I'm Brother Adinkra.
A.K.A. Nikki Love. Peace and blessing, family. I know all is well. Well, as we told you all, we was coming back on here to talk about a few things. We was on the day before yesterday and Monday. But today, you know what? We got to talk about some things. Now, I got to pull something up before we really get into this, y'all. So, while, you know, y'all are up there chilling out or whatever, saying hi and doing your greetings, three things we going to talk about. What? You didn't get what? You want me to get the bottle for you? I could get it. I'm closer to the refrigerator.
I got it.
I'm closer to the refrigerator.
Ahead,
See, he talking.
What we talking?
Tell everybody what we talking about.
All right. We're going to talk about the event, since all of y'all keep asking about the event. And it's funny.
It's the cosmic event.
It ain't really. It's something that Wunam has been talking about for years before they even got onto it. And we've talked about it before on the show. They just gave it another name. And so, you know.
You want to ask me some questions about that? Because, you know, we could get into that after we read it. But let's talk about the fun stuff first. Okay. Then we're going to get in.
So we're gonna do the event last.
Yeah, we're going to do the event last, y'all. We're going to do the event last, y'all, because it's a very important topic to talk about. Everybody's been talking about it. What's the event? What's the rainbow event? What's going on? And we're going to talk about that last, but we're going to talk about Brother Beyonce got it. Go ahead, Brother Beyonce.
Brother Beyonce.
Look, I'm being funny, y'all. I'm just kidding. Because he likes Beyonce. He think I don't know. You know, he like.
Who doesn't like Beyonce?
Because she's from Texas. Okay? But anyway, go ahead, Brother Adinkra. Would you tell everybody what we could talk? Thank you, sir. I'm trying to.
If you stop interrupting me, I'm trying to talk. Woman.
Well, get it right. Stop taking.
Okay, we're gonna talk. Of course, we're gonna talk about Beyonce. The thing about, you know, somebody supposedly biting her face. You know, she got a lot of haters out there, but you know, and we're gonna talk about. This is old news, but I just want to talk about it. Tekashi 6ix9ine from the Breakfast Club when he went on, only because there's some things we've seen with him that we want to get into. And that's about it. Also, are we going to talk about the brother that was killed?
The brother in California, Sacramento, that was shot.
Yeah.
You could talk about that if you want to, because to me it's nothing new, and I'm so tired of our people not doing nothing about it. I'm so tired of them getting off for these unrighteous crimes that they're committing. You know what I mean? You know, all I have to say is their doing will be their very own undoing. And what they're doing is they keep pushing the buttons and pushing the buttons and pushing the buttons, shooting our young men out here for nothing at all. And they don't think it's coming back, but ancestors are not sleeping. Trust me.
Yeah, the problem is They think that people are gonna continue to be scared of them. Eventually, a dog that constantly gets kicked is gonna turn around and bite you. So that's all I gotta say about that. I'm not trying to tell nobody to go take the law in their own hands and all of this, but I'm just saying, at the end of the day, we're only human. A man can only take so much. A people can only take so much, and it won't be long. So I'm just leave it at that. Okay.
Let me tell y'all something, sisters. Sisters with some powerful ashes. It's time for you to start chanting. It's time for you to call on the gods and the goddesses. Okay? It's time for us to have one voice and we start putting that vibration out there and shutting it all down. We need to shut it all down because enough is enough. Okay? Enough is enough.
And if enough of y'all sisters get together, things will happen immediately. That's all I'm going to say. The right amount of number of y'all get together, that person will pay for that, what he did right away, immediately. Right away.
All right. Now let's talk about Beyonce being bit in the face. At the end of the day, what I'm disappointed about, okay, y'all, is I'm disappointed about the fact that, first of all, they're putting out there on Twitter and on YouTube that Sanaa Lathan actually bit her in the face. Now, Sanaa Lathan came on YouTube today and she says, you know what, I would never bite Beyonce in the face. That's not true. And y'all know, I really don't like talking about stuff like this, but people email and they ask us questions, so we try to touch on it. So we're not going to be too long about it. But I just get disappointed when I see my sisters fighting back and forth over a man. Over a man. If it is true. Okay? We don't know, we wasn't there, but it's speculation about Sanaa Lathan. Sanaa Lathan said, if I did bite Beyonce, she says, you know what? It would be a love bite. I don't know what she meant by that, y'all, but.
Nah, she just, the rumor was it was out of her and this another white actress.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And she said it wasn't her.
So a white actress bit Beyonce in the face.
So what they basically did is just called her out on it until she came to the front and said it wasn't me, so they could narrow it down. They just trying to figure it out.
I don't know. But that's sad. That's a sad thing. Peace and blessings to my sister Phoebe Mars to join us. Reginald Welber. Greetings to you all on Facebook, YouTube. We got y'all filling out. We got my sister right. April, Christy Maya. Thank you, Christy.
She said she like your dashiki.
I seen it. Yeah. This is old, y'all. I had this for a long time. I just pulled it out the closet because it was hot today. You know what I mean? It was hot. Okay. That's right, April. Strength in numbers. That's right. Strength in numbers. You know what I mean? So with saying that, I don't really get into the he say, she say, because a lot of times the media has a way of putting out things. You don't know what to believe. You wasn't there. You don't know what's true and what's not true. So I don't like to touch subjects like this. I like to stay on the spiritual subjects, but when fans do ask, we try to cover a little bit of what we see. Now, they showed a picture of Beyonce, but I don't know if the picture looked like it was photoshopped to me. They showed like 2 marks on her face, and it didn't look like bite marks to me, if that's real, because it looks like it was photoshopped. It looked more like somebody scratched or cut her. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If that's real. Let me say it again. If it's real. But I don't like to get into the gossip, because one of the worst things I hate seeing is my sisters and stuff fighting amongst each other. Okay? Suleiman says, love the backdrop you have. It's nice. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Yeah, when we get out, we walk up the stairs and go into the realms of Kemet. Okay? All right. All right, so we're going to talk about the next thing. What's the next thing? Y'all heard about, go ahead, you talk about that, because that show Arena a little bit.
I don't really know.
You know, because you put me on to watch it. You told me to watch it.
Dude.
But you watched
Tekashi
it.
6ix9ine. What is he? I think he's Mexican and Puerto Rican. He was on the Breakfast Club. And what kind of is sad is the boy, he's 21 years old. So when you're 21, you still him being 21, he still he act like he's 18 years old. And the problem is, he may be 21, but he's up in his brain. He's not 21, and he runs around. He says things that actually just causes him to get in a lot of beef and strife. And when I was sitting there and I was reading him, I seen that he was spiritual. And what I didn't say, I don't know if he understands how spiritual he is, but I was talking to Wunam about it, and she said she sees that he can actually see. So do you want to touch on that?
You know, what we got to realize, family, a lot of these young folks that's coming back are totally different beings, okay? These young folks, do not sleep on them because they're totally different beings. A lot of these young folks in their 20s, their early 20s, their mid-20s are totally different beings coming back. They're not the same beings that some of us are over, I would say over 35, over 30 and up, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, I was saying that these beings are very, very spiritual. They do not fear nothing. They do not fear nothing. These beings are not fearing a doggone thing. You hear what I'm saying? So when you actually listen to these young folks talking, you have to understand what kind of spiritual beings they are. They're not like us. You know what I'm saying? They are on a whole nother dimension with their thinking, with what they do. They don't fear. They're not scared of anything. Okay? They're not believing in God. They are like totally different beings. So when you look at these young people out here, the young man he's talking about, 6'9" Tekashi, he's from Brooklyn. He's half Puerto Rican, half Mexican, and he's just not fearing. But what he's doing is he's doing what the rest of these young folks do. Get on Twitter, get on YouTube, get on social media, and talk junk. You know what I mean? Talk junk. And y'all older folks that's letting this 21-year-old intimidate y'all need to stop. Stop. Because everybody how many comments did we get on YouTube? We get YouTube. I had this dude on YouTube say, what did he call me? He said, you black bitch. Right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you get all kind of comments and people saying stuff on YouTube. But if I was immature, sometimes I'll come back at them just because it's fun to me. Or sometimes I'll just ignore them because I know they got issues. And the internet, people are going to talk. They're going to hide behind videos. They're going to hide behind YouTube and all of these things. But you know what? Don't feed into it.
I'm sorry if any of y'all on this line call my woman a bitch. I'm going to talk about your mama. I'm going to talk about your gay-ass daddy. I might even talk about your grandma. So don't do that. Because if you can be very disrespectful to her, I don't really care if you talk about me. I say what you want to say. If you disrespectful to her, I'm gonna get very disrespectful.
Well, they can't say what they want to say to you either, because I ain't having it.
That's just something I just don't play.
I ain't having it. And sometimes y'all will be your own people. It'll be some of your own. But most of the times we get a lot of, white people that want to troll when we talk about stuff about race. It's the white ones, you know what I mean? Coming at you, just like when we did the show on the Harvest Box, everybody's saying black people's on welfare. And, they have so much to say. Black people always want hangouts. I mean, the same bullshit. And honestly speaking, I basically know that humanity is controlled and brainwashed by what they see on TV, in the media, everything else. So when you listen to these people talk, you're actually listening to what you've heard over and over and over again. They are made to believe that black people are the only ones who get food stamps. They're made to believe that it's more black people. You know why? Because in the media, what they do is they show you only black people. They don't show you that 41.3% of white people are on welfare and get food stamps. So what happens is when you get white people that are trying to come to you and say these things on your YouTube page, on your Facebook page and all of that, I'm sitting here back laughing. If you only knew, you fool.
But they don't even like that. They don't even like when you point out the percentage of how many of them are.
I don't give a goddamn what they like. They can kiss my natural black ass. It is what it is. Truth is truth, and truth needs to be told. And what they need to understand is that you want to come at us, but true enough, your people own the media. You understand? Go to your own. Like I tell them all the time, you got a problem talking about black folks get handouts. You know what? Go down to your white trailer park, white trash areas, and go go down and look at your goddamn meth heads that be begging me for money, and they white, and they on meth. They be out there begging for money. You hear what I'm saying? So, you know, what happens is they forget that they got their own community of people that are low income, on welfare, on drugs. They're doing heroin, they're doing meth. So white people, you know, stop worried about what's going on with black folks and worry about what's going on with white folks, and go worry about your brothers and sisters and not what's going on with the black folks. True enough. Just like they try to say more men are incarcerated. Untrue. Excuse me, not true. So what, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? They always want to, you know, have a way of, you know, changing up the statistics. You know what I mean? Trying to make us look bad. But, you know, I've become numb to it. And it's like, you know what? Y'all, let me explain something to y'all. Obviously, your people like tainting numbers. So when you understand who we are and what we really are, then you wouldn't be coming at us like this. Go worry about your white folks. Y'all white folks that are worried about people on welfare, go to your 10% of billionaire white folks, and while you busting your ass working, one guy was like, oh, I'm a dishwasher. White boy, right? I'm a dishwasher. And y'all, black people always want handouts, and black people always, really? Well, you got white privilege, white man, so why isn't your white fellow brothers and sisters making sure you're not a dishwasher? You see what I'm saying? And see, they don't like when you come back at them. They don't like when you come back with numbers and statistics and truth. Mm-hmm. So basically what I'm saying is that, you know, we get this all the time. Now, talking about this young boy against 6'9" Tekashi, 21 years old, you can't pay him no mind. Mm-hmm. You can't pay him no mind.
He's young, and he just wants attention. And the only way he know how to get people to pay attention to him is trolling and saying what he want to say and these crazy things. But one thing I do like about him is that he does look out for
community school,
for the school community and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But you could tell he talks all that shit, but you could tell a lot of the things that he say that are being said about him does bother him. Even though I feel like he brings a lot of things on himself, because you're gonna receive the energy you put out. But at the same time, for men that are 35, 40 years old to be chasing him down, trying to hurt him because of his mouth, you gotta realize, you know, some people feel like, hey, if you don't respect this, we're gonna make you respect it. But at the same time, you can't make nobody do something they don't want to do. You may end up killing them. That might not get you the respect you was looking
for. Okay, now we're gonna get into the topic we been asked to talk about, and the most requested topic this week, which is the event. Okay, a couple of people came on Facebook, a couple of people on YouTube asked us about the event. By the way, let me see. and Deji, I'm not doing readings tonight. We're just talking about topics. If you want a reading, go to my webpage. You can book a reading with me. We'll put it in the chat, okay? You can go to my webpage if you want a reading. I'm not doing readings tonight.
Yeah, so the event, right? As we get to look it up, you know, it's a cosmic event. Things are happening.
Well,
go ahead.
I'm gonna let you ask me the.
Well, it's actually more yours.
I'm gonna let you ask the question, because you know I talked about this years ago. But pretty much this event that everybody's talking about, they call it the Rainbow Event. They're calling it the event. What it is, they're talking about what they call a compression breakthrough on Earth. Okay, it's when the Earth, it's when the big solar waves reaching from the Earth, from the galactic center. And what it does is it comes in the middle of the Earth, and it causes a compression breakthrough, okay? That's what they're talking about, okay? Now, what's crazy about it is that this event is supposed to make a change with humanity, okay? It's supposed to take us to the next level of transformation, all right? Now, what's funny is I pulled up the article that they're talking about, and I'm going to share with some of the people, because some of these things they're talking about, I've been talking about for years, okay? Mm-hmm. They're saying it's the end of a long era of captivity, an end of us being enslaved by the 10% of the elites, okay? They talk about the cabal, which I didn't even know who it was until I looked it up. They talk about the Illuminati, okay? Y'all know what I said over the years. We are the illuminated ones. We put the power behind the 6-point star. I am Amin-Ra, you know what I mean? So with saying that, they're saying it's the end of a long era of captivity. Earth and the inhabitants have been 25,000 years of imprisonment and quarantine, okay? And they're talking about put in a black hole, right? We have been controlled and manipulated by the dark side, or as we call them, the cabal. They're talking about the Illuminati. We are now to exit the black hole after 25,000 years of prison, okay? Our planet is the last one in the galaxy to be liberated. And they're saying this exit is the event horizon or the event. The event will be a moment breakthrough for the planet, which will be a physical and non-physical, okay? And they're saying on the non-physical plane, there will be a big wave of flash of divine energy and light coming from the galactic central sun going towards the surface of the planet. Now, I'm going to stop right there real quick because last week, here in Georgia, we had severe thunderstorms, okay? That wasn't no thunderstorms, family. When I tell you I was up because I stay up late, I'm looking out the window. My daughter's coming home from work. They let her off from work early because the lights shut down at her job. And she said, Mom, she said, this is not real. She said, this ain't thunderstorm. Something else is going on, right? So I get up the bed, look out the window, lights flashing. It's just flashing, flash. Nah, it wasn't no, you know how thunder is, and it'll flash, and then you'll hear the boom, and then you'll flash. Nah, it was back to back to back. So I stand at the window and I look up, right? I said, that's not thunder. That's these other beings that's coming from the cosmos. Okay? And I'm going to tell y'all about the dream I had this morning before we go on. Okay? After this. So, we go on and they say the galactic central sun is an object in Sagittarius constellation. Okay, the energy from the central sun will simulate a flash or special kind of light from the sun that permeates the earth and humanity, raising the frequency of all living entities on the planet. Now, it will calm humanity in the light of love, energy, and duality. It's a magnificent energy not seen or felt before on earth. Everyone on earth will feel and know something has happened, and it will be a surprise to when it will happen, even for us. It's never happened before. It will not be a major shock event. It will be a positive event. Now, when they said 25,100 years, for those of you that have been following me on the radio, Blog Talk Radio for years, y'all know I've been talking about this years ago. I talked about the fifth dimension. I talked about the DNA reactivation, okay? I talked about the 25,920 year transformation that we were going through, okay? First of all, they're wrong. It has happened. We're at the beginning of the end. And what's happening is there is a major transformation taking place with humanity, not just on this earth, but in the cosmos as well. So this event is a little bit more than what they're saying, okay? Because as I told you all years ago, the DNA will reactivate. People say activation. No.
You know what I see with this too? I see that a lot of this is government control, but they get their information from watching a lot of the spiritual people, the information that they bring forth. So a lot of people out here that's bringing true information, the government knows the ones that are real and the ones that aren't. And they're actually getting information from them and regurgitating it and coming up with their own spin on it.
That's what you see?
Yeah. Mr. Johnny come lately, as they say.
Okay. All right. Now, according to what they're saying and what they're promoting out here, it says, on the physical plane, there will be. Now, this is according to this article, okay? It's called prepareforchange.net, okay? They're saying the arrest of the cabal, and they're saying it already started. They said the reset of the financial systems, disclosure, the release of extraterrestrial information, the beginning of a new fair financial system with prosperity funds for all humanity, new government, political system, education system, healthcare system, etc. Awakening of humanity slowly and gradually to the existence of positive non-terrestrial races and our galactic connections. Introduction of new advanced technologies. Now y'all listening to what I'm saying, right? The release of spiritual growth and healing for every human being on the planet. There's much, much more to look forward to. Now, y'all, hold on, wait a minute. Brother Adinkra, what happened in Black Panther? What kind of technology? Come on, y'all, use your logical thing. And see, I told y'all, when y'all gotta listen. See, y'all, a lot of these brothers be out here talking about this. They don't want to listen to the sisters. I told y'all, this movie was going to shift the consciousness of humanity and especially black folks. Now, watch this. According to this article that they're putting out, that's supposed to be this major event that is changing humanity, they're saying new technology. Now, I told y'all years ago, the ancient Nubians right here, had higher technology than we could ever imagine. Okay? Now, if you look at the movie Black Panther, what do they focus on? The technology, right? Then they talked about how, you understand, you know, at the end of the movie, for those who didn't see it, and I hope you've seen it by now, but oh well, I gotta tell it, goddammit. At the end, they come back to America, to Africans in America, and they are sharing and teaching about this high technology that they have over in Africa. Okay? Now, I'm gonna read this list again. This is what they're saying. The website, you can go look it up yourself, family. Prepareforchange.net. Again, on the physical plane, these are the changes that's supposed to take place. The arrest of the cabal, which is the Illuminati, they're saying, already started. The reset of a financial system. Disclosure, the release of extraterrestrial information. But I told y'all the other night, before I even found out about this event, people have been asking. I told y'all, they've been here, they've always been here, and they're here more now. Okay? This is what they're telling you. They're saying the beginning of a new fair financial system with prosperity funds for all humanity. New government, political system, education system, healthcare system, etc. Awakening of humanity slowly and gradually to existence of positive non-terrestrial races in our galactic connections. Introduction of new advanced technologies. The release of spiritual growth and healing for every human being on the planet. This is much more to look forward to. These are the things they're saying. So we're saying this is all back what I was saying years ago. I told y'all, for those who listen to the radio show, that we were going to go through a transformation. That we were going to go on, we're going to be vibrating on a higher frequency. And when the DNA begins to reactivate, you will have access to more information, okay? And you will not have to lean on man no longer for your information, okay? You want to say something, Brother Adinkra?
It's funny because I was listening to you and you hit on a lot of the points that a lot of things that I already came true. So to me, when they was talking about the money's going to go away and the financial system is going to be more fair for everybody, that's what was happening with the Bitcoin and all of that. I don't know why I feel like that's why they were trying to slow it down or stop it. Yeah. Too, with the money. And as far as the spiritual changes, we've been witnessing spiritual changes for the last 20, 30 years with people getting more spiritual and spiritual each year, each decade. Mm-hmm. So with saying that, and on top of that, with the information about the beings that are not from this planet, that information has been coming out more and more information about that each decade, to the point where you have people actually seeing these beings and recording them. Now, I don't believe that everything that they show on this recording and put in the news or put on the internet is real, but I believe I'd say maybe 30%. It could be even more. So some of that stuff is real.
Well, you know what, family? Again, I've been saying this for years. A lot of people wasn't paying attention. A lot of people didn't listen, okay? And it's happening as we speak. Every day. We've been talking about it over the, shows and over the videos. Do you feel the change? Are you feel? And another thing, pay attention to signs and symbols. I told y'all this a while back. Pay attention to different signs and symbols because the universe is giving you signs and symbols. And a lot of people are not even seeing the triple numbers. Remember we did the show on numbers 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4? That's even going away. Now we're seeing 4 digits. I'm seeing 12, 12, 12, 18, 18, 1, 8. You know what I mean? So the thing about it is that pay attention because the universe is giving us many signs, okay? Many signs. Good evening, Sheila Scarborough. All right. Now, thank you, Miss April, for the donation of $10. Thank you so much. Okay? Now, what we want to do, family, is we're going to take a few questions. Not readings, but questions about what we think about the event, okay? And while we're waiting for people to put questions up here, I want to tell you what they're also saying. Now, according to them, they don't know when the event is going to take place. It already started, family. Okay? It already started. Suleiman 1111 is for the ancestors. That's to open up the ancestors. That's the beginning of your transformation. Some people are not getting it till after because they're still vibrating on a lower frequency because they haven't been paying attention. But anyway, they say on this page, they say, what can you do before the event? Now, let me read this. It says the short overview of what the event is, and of course, we have the pulse of the galactic central sun. The galactic central sun is a living entity, and in times, the pulse of energy according to our global awareness and the level of that awareness and the level of the awakening. And when we have this compression breakthrough, the level of awakening is high enough for humanity to receive that pulse of increased energy from the galactic center. Okay? This is what they're telling you can do to prepare. They're saying we are about to enjoy both a non-violent liberation of the planet along with a bright and beautiful future for all. Since we do not know the exact day, month, or year of the event, it will be soon. How can you say soon if you don't know the day, month, or the year? It already started. I'm telling you from what I see spiritually, it started already, okay? It would be wise to follow a few simple, it says rules for precaution, okay? So what they're saying is keep an extra 2 weeks of food and water on hand starting now. Make sure you and your loved ones have an update supply of any medicines that might be required. Keep extra cash hidden away at your home. Gas up your vehicle when the tank is half empty. Stay in touch with the website for updates, and the website is prepareforchange.net. Educate yourself, friends, and family members about what's going on with this galactic, change and this compression. Join one of the 6 task forces areas on the website and assist in the liberation of our beautiful planet. Now, as I told y'all the other day, it's like one big brain, okay? They also got a little bit more into the ley lines, and it's crazy, y'all, because I hadn't even read this, and people was asking me about it the other night, and I was telling y'all, it's like one big brain. As I told y'all years ago, humanity is tired. You got 80% of human beings on this earth that are sick and tired of the chaos, the war, the destruction, the killing, all of that, the greed, the power. So when that 80% of that one conscious big brain comes together, it's going to automatically take over the 20% of the ones who are not conscious of what they should be doing. Is going to override that, okay? So you got more people around the world that want peace and love and harmony, and they're tired of the political rhetoric and all the chaos. So you have that one big brain on the earth that's saying, okay, enough is enough. We're tired. That energy, okay, is being put out through this earth. You got species, other species, not even of human beings who are tired. Animals. Watch how the animals are growing and doing the things that they're doing. Watch how they're feeling sorry for other animals if you watch the Planet Channel, the Animal Channel. What? What's so funny?
It's funny. What was that we was watching the other day? With the
lion felt sorry for the
not the lion. The crocodile had a deer or something, and the hippos made the crocodile let the deer go.
And that's because they're going through a transformation too. Now, for those who are new to this information and talking about the event, go look it up. It's prepareforchange.net. Everybody been asking about it, the rainbow event, this event, this event. Now, what I'm going to tell you all is like this. This is not nothing new. Mm-hmm. It has happened with humanity, not in our time and day, but 25,920 years ago. And what happening is, that, again, it's the beginning. For those who are not familiar with it, the DNA is reactivating.
All I can say is, you want to prepare, but as far as groups, big groups like that, I'll just be kind of cautious with that. They just prepare for, just saying join us, prepare for change. That just sounds like just another way to monitor you and see what you're up to. I don't know. I don't trust that.
Well, I ain't trust joining no groups either. I mean, it don't matter what you do because we're all on the same page. Like I said, it's 80% of humanity that wants peace, love, so it's coming together. But not only that, it has to take place because if you know the history, okay, going back to ancient Kemet, if you know the history, if you know that each age there was a time when things would change, humans would change, even the way they look. You know, now we're coming into the age where we're coming back more spiritual. So when we speak of the DNA reactivating, the DNA strands are opening up to give us access where we're becoming highly spiritual. So before we would say, oh, we're spiritual beings living a human experience, but we are going to be more spiritual beings, okay? Wanting to live a human experience, not because we chose to, because at the end of the day, family, this change has to take place because it's time. This is the age of Aquarius. This is the age of the air and the water. You understand? We are water beings. So as water beings, you understand? We're getting ready to go through a major transformation. All of humanity. All of humanity. Whatever they're talking about, yeah, so good, you know what I mean? But it's happening naturally. Some are going through it quicker than others. Some are going through it quicker than others, you understand? Some are still behind in the other lower frequencies and dimensions, okay? But we're saying that is going to happen to all of humanity. Everything is changing. As the ancient ancestors said, as above, so below. As above, so below. These beings that are coming from other part of the galaxy, they do exist. It's not, there's truth to that, because when you look at the Zulu that said they're from Mars, and the Dogon that said we're from Sirius A and B, and all these star systems, there are other beings, and they're coming, okay?
One of the, they asked, did they make a movie called The Event? Yeah, they made a movie called The Event in 2002.
Yeah. I seen that. It kept popping up. Okay. All right, family, do you have any questions? We have any questions? If we have any questions, we'll take some questions before we get off of here, family. I dreamed of a blackout. It happened on Friday. Everything blacked out. No banks open. Couldn't get money nor buy anything. Pretty V-natural. Really? Wow. And you know, it's funny you say that because I dreamed this morning. No, was it last night? I woke up and I said, they're here. And Brother Dinkra says, who's here? I was at the window, y'all. And a ship came. And it was crazy because this actual ship looked like the one in Black Panther, right? And no, I didn't watch Black Panther the night before. No, I wasn't reading nothing about aliens the night before, earlier that day. I wasn't thinking nothing about no damn aliens, okay? After I seen that, it was a big window. After I seen that ship, then all of a sudden I start seeing them coming out of, it was about 20 of them. And they were shaped round with square fronts on them. And there was a whole bunch of them. And I went on my back terrace and I looked up, I said, they're here. And I woke up and that's what I told them, I said, they're here. They were just coming all over the sky. Okay? Now, people can say what they want to say. For the ones who are not consciously aware, I feel sorry for you. Because some will say you're crazy, ain't no such things as spaceships, ain't no such thing as this and no such thing as that. Well, you know what? You're crazy if you haven't seen it yet. You're crazy to think that we are the only beings that exist in this galaxy. You're crazy if you don't know your history and don't know that your own African brothers and sisters in where the beginning of life started told you that you came from star systems. You're crazy if you don't believe that, because I see them all the time. And you know what's crazy, family? So today, you know, we're at our store, and, you know, I'm outside. I'm talking to some customers, you know. And I see these men working in white trucks. It made me think of, what's the movie? Strange Things.
Oh,
Stranger Things, you know.
TV show.
Like,
Stranger Things.
You know, what the hell are they doing? How the hell she know this?
They always out there.
Always out there. Looking, acting like they doing something, and my eyes just looking and looking.
We'll be staring at them.
Just staring at them, letting them know we see you. You watching us, but we see you too. You see.
We made one guy drive off today.
Yeah, he sure did drive off. Another time, y'all, one was across the street, and he was watching us, and I knew why he was there. So I went out and got my horsetail, and I started waving at him, right? I started waving it. He got in his car. He took off. He was like, she putting a goddamn curse on me, right? Because I know they be watching, and they're probably curious about how do I see what I see and what do I know. But it's not because, it's because I can see spirits. I can see ships. I can see the cosmos. You know what I mean? All right, any questions, family, before we get off of here? Russia has tapped into our electric grid as was told on the news. Mm-hmm. Oh, really, Sheila? Really? Okay. All right, Nikki, 2 days ago you came to me in my dream. You came to me in my dream, told me it's time. You said it's time to something with the ancestors. I've been getting rings in my ears and seeing numbers left and right. You're about the 8th person that I came to their dreams, my sister. You're about the 8th person that told me I came to their dreams. So when I told you it was time, I was what was going on around us at the time? Tell me. I saw, Sahar says, I saw a flying object UFO when I was in the 10th grade. I figured I saw it to make me aware and set me on a certain path of believing in spirituality. Christy Maya says, wow, I felt like they were here because I had weird dreams, but I think they showed me some of the beings. I just can't remember the dreams. I did call on my ancestors, like you said, before I fell asleep. What? Well, okay. Why is cryptocurrency failing? Well, you know what? I seen somebody, I think it was the blue pill and the red pill that did a video. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I think they did a video on that. Excuse me. Without me seeing it, I'm going to say because they want it to fail, right? But all is not true. Spiritually saying, all is not true. Yeah. It has to be reset. They are doing something with the financial system. So what I'm saying is they're making it appear that it's failing, but it's really not failing.
Because they don't want all you niggas to get rich. That's what it is.
Well, they can't stop that. You know, it is what it is. They can't stop that.
All these black people get rich. I don't know. We got to still oppress them.
Right. Okay. Now, Candy Ray says, when do you know that you need to do more than just giving offerings and pouring libations? Because they're going to call you. Things are going to start happening. Spirits is going to alert you. They're going to come around you. They're going to drop things. They're going to make noise. They're going to talk in your ear. They're going to show you things. So when you start seeing a lot of those things happening around you, it's time to really start listening to these beings, these spirit beings that are talking to you, okay?
You got to pay attention to.
You got to pay attention.
Because things that you think are just coincidental or circumstantial, that sometimes, a lot of times they'll be spiritual. You just be missing it.
All right. Let me see. We'll take one more question. I can't even remember where we were, but on my birthday, March 24th, I had a dream that I was smudging the place and while chanting Oshun, Oshun, Oshun. Okay. March 24th, that was my brother's birthday too. So you probably need to give an offering to Oshun. Give her some honey, but you must taste it first, okay? Taste it first. Give her an offering of honey by the river, okay?
So, did you talk about the Facebook spying allegations?
No, we haven't talked about the Facebook spying allegations. I heard about it. And actually, Facebook actually...
been spying.
You know, we've been knowing that they're spying. But you know what? As I always say, their doing will be their very own undoing, too.
I got a story about that. I think it was in 2014. I was on it was 2014 or 15. I was on Facebook, and I put an article on Facebook about Facebook was a part of the DoD, Department of Defense. Facebook locked me out of my account for 3 weeks. I couldn't get in. So they've been spying on you.
As I always say, family, their doing will be their very own undoing. Because, as I told you before, if I do see a war, I see a cyber war. And all that they're doing and think that they're doing is going to backfire on them. This is what I see spiritually. Mm-hmm. So even if they're spying on you, they're being spied on too, and I see it spiritually. There will be a cyber war. Don't say I didn't tell you so. Okay? Joni, thank you for the donation of $20. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Family, it's just that time and that energy when enough is enough. All that we see, all the unrighteous things that they do. And see, when they speak about these galactic beings, there is a meeting taking place, and I can tell you what I see spiritually. These are taking place with beings from other galaxies, other planets, okay? With this planet, it's a lot deeper. I can't even begin to share with you what I really, really see. All I can tell you is that there will be change. And you will feel it. As days go on and weeks go on and months go on, you're going to feel the change. And there's going to be major changes made with humanity, okay? So we're saying that if we don't have any more questions, family, we got to get ready to get off here because I got a webcam reading to do for somebody. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, for watching. If you missed the show, go back. We talked a little bit about Beyonce being bitten on the face. We don't really get into that, but we do like to answer the questions of our, family when they post questions. So we talked about that. We talked about 6ix9ine. What's his name?
Tekashi
6ix9ine, spiritual being. We talked a little bit about that. And we talked about the most important thing we need to talk about is this event that everybody is talking about. Mm-hmm. So if you missed the video, go back after we get off of here, go watch it, and just, pay attention. I can't get with everything they're saying. I know there's a lot of truth to what's taking place. Now, I'm going to tell you, as well as that compression that they're talking about, they call it, and let me say it again, family, they call it the breakthrough compression, okay? The breakthrough, it's called the breakthrough, compression breakthrough. And what they're saying is big solar waves that are coming from the galactic central causing the activation of like a light coming from the top and from the bottom of the earth and coming in the middle. Well, let me just share this with you, and I'm going to share the secret with y'all. Remember I told you all Jupiter was the most spiritual planet in our galaxy, right? Jupiter protects the planet Earth. Well, this energy that they're talking about is coming from the planet Jupiter. And this energy is being sent from Jupiter. Back to the last question to Eli, Mercury in retrograde, I don't get into that. It doesn't affect me the way that people say it affects them. Mm-hmm. And don't let it affect you. It's just a planet going backwards, okay? Jupiter's doing some serious energy sending right now. There's some powerful, powerful spiritual energy being sent to the grid. So when they talk about the compression breakthrough, it's more than that. Okay? But as the ancients said, as above, so below. You hear what they're saying? They're saying the life forces from above the surface, okay, of the planet and from below the surface of the planet meet in the middle. Okay? And this is the energy just supposed to like sweep through humanity, right? And make humanity just totally different beings. It's more than that, okay? God coming from your fellow Nubian sister who communicates and sees and been telling y'all for years. But on that family, we don't have any other questions. We're going to get out of here. Thank you for tuning in to Spiritually Seeing News. Again, where we can see what you can only imagine. And we'll probably see y'all maybe on Friday, maybe Sunday, Friday or Sunday, okay? And it'll come back where we'll talk about Somebody asked a question. Did y'all talk about the Facebook? Oh, we talked a little bit about that. I don't even want to talk about it because they're full of shit. That's right, they're full of shit. And like I said, their doing will be their very own undoing. Remember, I told you that their doing will be their very own undoing. So y'all will see. Okay? Take care, family. Peace and blessings. Ain't got to go home, but got to get up out of here. Peace. Blessings. Peace.
When your soul cries out, when your soul cries out, when your soul cries out, what do you feel? Many dimensions, and the pain is real. Do you feel? Dimensions to the soul.